If you're in talent acquisition, you know hiring has never felt tougher. So today, we're going to break down a really practical toolkit. This is all about helping you shift from that traditional hiring grind to a skills-based approach that actually gets results.
I mean, it's the question on everyone's mind, right? Why is this so hard? We're all feeling it. We're stuck between a candidate pool that feels like it's shrinking, huge demographic shifts, and technology that is changing what a job even is almost overnight. The old playbook, it just can't keep up.
And get this, think about it. In just the last 5 years, more than a third of the top skills you'd need for just an average job have completely changed. That means the perfect candidate from 2018 might not even have the right skills today. It's no wonder it feels like we're all trying to hit a moving target. And this isn't just some HR headache anymore. It's a C-suite, top-tier business thread. More than half of all HR leaders are now calling skill shortages a major risk to their company's future. This has gone way beyond just filling seats. It's about whether we have the actual capabilities to compete and innovate. So how do we get out of this mess? Well, that's what this toolkit is for. We've got a 5-step plan. First, we'll really nail down the challenge. Then we'll unpack the skills-based solution. After that, we'll map out where you are on the journey, talk about how to make it happen, and finally pinpoint the very first moves you can make. All right, let's officially frame the problem we're all facing. In this new world of talent scarcity and crazy fast skill shifts, sticking to old proxies, things like degrees and fancy job titles, it's just a recipe for failure. It's like trying to navigate a new city with a map from 10 years ago. You're just going to get lost. It's time for a new set of rules.
And that, of course, brings us to the solution. If the old rules are broken, what's the fix? The answer is all about shifting our focus away from credentials and onto capabilities, a skills-first approach. And let me be clear, this isn't just a minor tweak to your process. It's a fundamental change in how we think about, find, and evaluate talent.
Now, the absolute bedrock of this whole thing is something called a shared skill taxonomy. The best way to think of it is as a universal language for talent. So, for example, instead of one job description asking for a project management and another for sprint planning, a taxonomy might define both of those under a core skill called agile project execution. It just makes sure that everyone, recruiters, hiring managers, candidates, is finally speaking the same language. This right here shows the whole shift in a nutshell. The old way, on the left, is all about looking at proxies like a degree and basically guessing if someone can do the job. The skills-based way, on the right, focuses directly on what a person can actually do. It's a huge move from assumption to actual evidence. And the business case for this? It's a slam dunk. The data shows that employees hired for their skills stick around almost 10% longer. You immediately expand your talent pools when you start looking past the same old resumes. You lower your costs because you're not overpaying for credentials that don't matter. And maybe best of all, you dramatically boost diversity by finding incredible, overlooked talent. It's a win-win. Okay, but let's be real. Making this shift isn't like flipping a switch. It's a journey. So the next really crucial step is to be honest with yourself about where your organization is right now. This maturity roadmap is going to help you find your starting point. So take a look at this. The Lightcast maturity model maps out the entire path, from that early unexplored phase where skills is just a buzzword, all the way to world class, where skills are woven into the fabric of your business strategy. As we walk through this, I want you to think, where do we fall on this chart? Let's break those stages down a bit. Are you at stage 1, where skills is just a buzzword people throw around in meetings? Or maybe you're in the disjointed stage, where different teams are trying things, but it's all siloed and inconsistent. A lot of companies are stuck at data without decisions. You've got the skills data, but it's not actually driving any strategy. The goal, of course, is to get to strategic management, where skills are the currency of your entire talent ecosystem. Okay, so once you've figured out your starting point, it's time to build some momentum. This next section is all about getting out of theory and into practice. Let's talk about how you actually get this done. This right here might be the most critical piece of advice. To get real buy-in, you have to frame this as a core business capability, not just another HR project. You have to speak the language of the business. You talk about how this reduces time to market, how it lowers talent costs, how it drives innovation. You have to connect skills directly to the bottom line. And listen, this cannot be a solo mission. Success means you've got to build a coalition. You need everyone at the table. TA, L&D, compensation, and, I can't stress this enough, the business line leaders. They're the ones feeling the pain of talent gaps every single day. Trust me, they will be your most powerful champions. Now let's talk tech. And don't worry, the goal here is not to rip and replace your entire tech stack. It's about being practical and integrating skills data into the systems you already use, like your ATS and your LMS. Honestly, just tagging your jobs, your candidates, and your training courses with a consistent skills language is a massive step forward. All right, we've covered the why, the what, and the how. Now for the most important part. What can you do to start today? Let's talk about your very first moves. My best advice is this: don't try to boil the ocean. Start small with a super focused pilot program. First, grab a pre-built taxonomy so you're not starting from scratch. Second, pick one high-impact role. You know the one. It's a constant hiring headache. Then sit down with those hiring managers and validate the skills that really matter. And finally, focus on solving one specific problem, whether it's hiring speed, retention, or just quality of hire. It is so easy to get lost in the weeds trying to build the perfect system. But please remember this: the goal isn't having a perfect taxonomy. The goal is making better talent decisions. That's it. It's all about making faster, fairer, and more effective hires. It's about progress, not perfection.
So I'll leave you with a question to chew on. When you think about your organization's biggest hiring headaches, what's the one critical role, that one position you're always struggling to fill or to keep, that you could start transforming with a skills-based approach right now, today?